Rich people should pay more taxes. They already do pay more taxes. In fact, at times close to 40% of their income. What percentage of your income do you pay in taxes? Oh, about 25%. How much of that do you get back at the end of the year? Pretty much all of it, because I'm a single-parent mother and get earned income credit. Hell, this year one got back $3,000. And I only had half that taken out of my paycheck. So you pay no taxes, get more money on top of that back at the end of the year, but you think rich people should still pay more in taxes than they already are? Yep, sure do. Why? Because I'm a single-parent mom, and I'm really struggling to make a living wage. Rich people can afford to pay more. Had you thought about getting an education like many of these rich people you are talking about had to do? Or learn or do something that can bring you more money so that you don't have to live off the backs of rich people? I can't. I'm a female and am discriminated against in a patriarchal society which is ran by toxic masculine men who won't give me a chance. Seems some of the richest, most powerful people in the world are women. I wonder if they would agree with you? Like Sheryl Sandberg. Do you have any idea how she had to struggle to get to where she is? And all along the way she suffered harassment from oppressive men. Oh really? Seems she had a rather privileged life in an upper middle class or higher family. She went to Harvard. She never seemed to have suffered much along the way. She was never at a loss for job options. Does that sound like harassment or oppression to you? If you are a woman, it's always different. Women are always targeted by misogynistic men who don't like women invading their spaces and bully them relentlessly. Did Sandberg say this happened to her? If so, what specifically happened? And by whom? If she did suffer any harassment or misogyny, it didn't seem to hurt her career at all. She is still among the most powerful women in the world, along with a plethora of others. She doesn't have to say it happened to her. Women know how hard it is to succeed in spaces and industries normally reserved for men. Oh, so you don't know of any instances that Sheryl Sandberg was bullied or harassed? Noted. And about these male spaces you keep mentioning, let me ask you this. Do women like to have safe spaces where they don't have to worry about the interference of men? Of course. We have plenty of these spaces already. They've been carved out of the landscape once only enjoyed by men with toxic ideas of masculinity. So it's okay to have female-only spaces, but not male-only spaces? Yes, that is correct. What's your point? My point is that this sounds extremely hypocritical to me. Female-only spaces, but no male-only spaces? Does that sound fair? What part of that do you not understand? Men have had the spaces. Now it's our time. Who runs the world? Girls. Yeah, whatever you say. So, women should be allowed to have all women's organizations, clubs, political bodies, taxi cab services, restaurants, etc. But men cannot? Of course, why not? Well, it's discriminatory for one. Take for instance the following scenario. A man and a woman both apply for the same job. The man is more qualified, having more education, more experience, better references, and proven track record of success than the woman. Who should get the job? I believe you have to look at who has the best soft skills. Sometimes those can be more important than hard skills anyway. Okay, let's say the man has better soft skills than the woman as well. Shouldn't he get the job and not the woman? You have to look at how women are marginalized in society and not given a chance in male-dominated spaces. You have to really look at all the reasons why women aren't represented in the tech industry to the same extent as men. You have to recognize how men experience privilege, especially white males, in traditionally male-dominated spaces. If you look at the reasons why women are too afraid to enter into areas that are populated by toxic ideas of masculinity and patriarchal values, you will understand the reasons why we need more women in the tech industry and other industries where women are underrepresented. So, should a male applicant get a job if he is more qualified to do that job than a women applicant? Didn't you just hear what I said? I'm not going to keep repeating things for you. If my words are too difficult for you to understand, that's not my problem. Oh, I understand you just fine. But you seem to have failed to understand the question I asked you. Instead, you deflected my question and danced around it with meaningless feminist talking points. Let's look at this another way. Since it seems you feel it's okay to discriminate against someone based on their gender, what if the woman did get the job, and as a result of her lack of skills, ability to do the job correctly, someone lost their life, or the company lost money, or many other people lost their jobs because of a lawsuit, etc. If a negative outcome occurs as a result of selecting the wrong person for the job, who is going to take responsibility for that? The employer has to take responsibility because he is the employer. Duh? So, you are saying that an employer is responsible for the employees he or she hires? There you go. I see you are catching on now. Good for you. So if an employer is responsible for the outcomes of an employee, wouldn't it behoove that employer to choose the best individual for the job without taking gender into consideration? You have to look at how women are marginalized in society and not given a chance in male-dominated spaces. You have to really look at all the reasons why women aren't represented in the various industries to the same extent as men. If you look at the reasons why women are too afraid to enter into areas that are populated by toxic ideas of masculinity and patriarchal values, you will understand the reasons why we need more women in industries where they were underrepresented. Please just answer the question. Since you believe the employer has responsibility over his employees and their success or lack thereof, shouldn't an employer pick the best human no matter if they are male or female? The way you said his employees is an oppressive microaggression and proves that you are a misogynist and a product of the toxic patriarchal mindset. Oh, for the love of all that is. Let's try something else. Do you think that men and women are truly equal in all things and should be treated as such? Of course, men and women are equal in all things. They aren't treated as equals, though. Women make only around 77 cents to every dollar a man makes. This is a disparity that needs to be corrected. Women deserve to be paid just as much as men if they are working in the same position. So if there is a man and a woman both working in the exact same job, a woman should earn the exact same amount per year as a man even if she has spent less time on the job, works less hours on the job per day/week/month than a man, and takes time off to bear children? Yes. Yeah. Why wouldn't she? Well, because she has not worked as long or as hard, and has taken more time off the job than the man. That's why. Shouldn't people get paid according to their work history and performance? So what you are saying is that if a woman takes time off to have children, she should get paid less? Are you trying to tell me that women should be penalized for their choice to have children? No, that's not what I'm saying, and that's not what I mean. What I mean is, if a woman is off recuperating after having given birth, and wants to spend, let's say, the 3 months following giving birth off to raise her baby, but she only has 2 weeks paid time off accumulated, that she should still get the same yearly pay as a man who never took any time off for anything the entire year. Does that make sense to you? Look, there is no reason why women can't have children and have a career too. Seems to me you aren't being a good ally to other women. No. I never said a woman couldn't have a career and have children too. If you look at what it takes to raise children to become healthy humans who contribute something positive to society, that takes a lot of time and attention. If a woman decides to have children, that's fine, but she has to accept that something will suffer. It may be her income, which may not be as high as a man's because she is not able to work as many hours due to her needing to take more time off to have and raise kids, including time she will need to take off to tend to her children should they become sick, and if the man does not fill this role, another child-related time away from work. Or maybe her children will suffer because mommy is never there due to her focusing instead on raising her salary instead of her children. Do you understand? So you are saying that mothers who want careers are bad mothers? No, I did not say that, but the potential is there for that very thing to occur. You sound threatened by strong, empowered women invading male spaces. Okay, let me ask you something else. If women are so underrepresented in jobs that are typically dominated by men, and if men are so afraid of women invading traditionally male spaces, why aren't women rushing to jobs such as plumbers, road or highway work, coal mining, steel work, tree trimming, roofing, and the like? You don't see women complaining about any pay gap there. In fact, women do not flock to these jobs but rarely. Why do you think it is that women prefer to be fairly represented wage and numbers-wise in jobs that don't involve brute strength, agility, and nerve? Women may not flock to these jobs because they will be poorly accommodated. And who is going to mentor them? Not the men. Women have no peers in those industries that are on their side. This needs to change, but the only way it will change is if society sheds its toxic ideas of masculinity. You say poorly accommodated. Tell me what you mean about this. What I mean is a lot of the equipment, and facilities, and other stuff is not well suited for women and would not help them be successful in their job, so men are unfairly favored in these realms. Correct me if I'm wrong, but are you saying that since women do not have the same physical ability to complete certain jobs without being accommodated in some way such as special equipment, facilities, and other stuff, that this alone is the reason why women don't get into jobs like this? Well, yeah, that's pretty much what I'm saying. Okay then, can you now admit that men and women are in fact not equal, but that in certain circumstances women need special accommodations that men don't need in order to be successful at one of the typical male jobs I listed earlier? In the misogynist society we live in today, women are discriminated against by men who have toxic ideas of masculinity. This is what needs to change. If this changes, then no one will be focused on what women can't do, but on what women can do. It will be at this point that special accommodations won't be something that the patriarchy whines about. It will be a normal part of doing business in this world. Then and only then will women be truly treated equal. You didn't answer my question. Why can't you just answer the question directly instead of parroting feminist talking points? Since women need special accommodations, which may be costly to a company to comply with, can you realistically state that men and women are equal in all things? Men and women aren't considered equal in all things, but they should be. That's why I do the courageous things I do. That's why I will never back down. I will never retreat. I work for the rights for all women to feel safe in all spaces, and not fear being subjected to harassment and death threats, and the real possibility of rape while attempting to step into traditionally male-dominated spaces. You still didn't answer my question. Yes, I did. If you are too stupid to understand, that's not my problem. 1 in 5 women are raped in their lifetime, and all you can talk about is how some women don't want to be coal miners. Can't even, words. I have 6 women who I call best friends. None of us were raped. I have plenty of women in my family, many more than 5, none of them were raped. No one I went to college with was raped. The 1 in 5 number is vastly overstated. Rape is underreported. No, in fact these days, it's overreported. Have you noticed all the false rape stories in the news lately that have been debunked? Those women have the right to be believed. They experienced such trauma. They are victims and need to be heard and understood. Not if they lied about being raped. Believe first, verify later. Okay, let's take that way to handle the reporting of a potential crime and apply it to another one. What if your neighbor who recently had his house robbed accuses you of stealing thousands of dollars of jewelry and electronics from his home, yet you know you didn't do it? Should we believe your neighbor first, lock you up, ruin your reputation and your life, then verify later? Is the robber a man? Social justice warriors say the darndest things.